What's up everyone? Today I'm excited to share with you the tips I wish I knew when I started my channel on how to balance your gaming and your content creation so that you can make the most out of your time going into 2021 starting right now. Welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time here, my name is Mur and I am a gamer, creator, and digital artist. I began streaming on Twitch in 2018, playing a bunch of first-person shooter games, rediscovered my passion for drawing with digital art when I needed some free ways to improve my Twitch and YouTube channel visuals, and have been creating live stream and recording content here and on another channel for the past 3 years. Now maybe you are limited on time because you have school, maybe you're an adult balancing a job, career, relationship, or maybe you're just somebody looking for ways to improve your workflow. I'm going to share with you some of the tricks I've learned to speed up my workflow so that I can balance it all. And most of these tips will reduce the amount of time you spend on your content creation process and more on the things that you enjoy. Now, before we get into some of the tips that we talk about with cutting down your workflow time, I also want to bring up what you see behind me here. You're going to see a bunch of different colored sticky notes that I use. And something I really think that a lot of people kind of shy away from talking about is the use of scripts in their videos. These are all different sections of what I'm going to be talking about in this video. It may seem like it takes a lot of time, but sometimes when you have a really good thought or you are feeling really creative, taking that time to type it out and kind of run it through in your mind the way that you kind of picture it or imagine it, it will save you a lot of time in the long run when you have certain points that are really important to you that you're not capturing at certain points. So you'll re-record a bunch of different scenes multiple times and it will stress you out. So this is kind of like my hidden tip number one, I guess you would call it. All right, that's much better. Tip number one is video editing templates. This is the big one for all of you. Creating templates is one of the easiest things you can do to reduce your workflow time in general, and video editing is no different. When you are creating videos, think about the ways you can create pre-made content that you can add to your template portfolio to use in future videos. Most of this has to do with sections of video editing in Premiere Pro. It can be applied in concept to other video editing programs out there. Create some form of a channel intro or a call to action that goes at the end of your video. All you need is an audio clip, video clip, or script that you read, and maybe change it ever so slightly so that it doesn't sound the exact same every time. Examples of using this are having an audio clip that can be plugged in on your timeline during gameplay scenes. And this will save you time figuring out a creative way to start your videos. Something I did really late in the game, but I'm really glad I realized the value in it, is creating a template workflow. Creating bins or folders, which are these guys right here. This is where I'm going to drag and drop all of my content in, and I am going to go ahead and just save it as a templates folder. So this is like my template video right here that I have saved on my computer. The reason for that is so that every time I want to start a new video, I have most of the stuff that I'm going to repeat the process with in a video layout with all of my organization already put in place, and it doesn't take a long time for my Premiere to open. The way I have mine laid out is I have my adjustment layer here at the very top, and the reason for that is because I use this very often in my edits between transitions towards the end, so I just include that on the top layer. I have my audio here, which is where I'm going to place my audio once I have that completed. Then I have my B-roll, which is where I'm going to drag and drop all of my clips. Then we have the extras, which is basically going to be like arrows or any other PNGs that I'm going to add on screen to add basically focal points into it to make it a little bit more fun and engaging for the viewer. Then I have music, which is going to have my background music. The purpose of that is so that I can kind of pick and choose from. I can double click each of these, go through, find a song I like, and then place an in and out and drag it into my workflow. Then I have pre-made stuff. Now this is going to be pre-made content like that I'm talking about right now. So part of the templates that I've created is I have my intro here. I have an outro, which is my intro one here. So whenever I need to start a video, a little subscribe button that has a green screen. And then I have a thank you for subbing video that I did a long time ago. I play this sometimes when I'm appreciating the public for subscribing to my channel. Now beyond this here, I have sound effects. Having this organized though is really going to make it a lot easier for me to know where to find things when I need them during my editing process, as well as knowing what I need to bring over. What I recommend is when you are in the middle of a edit like I am right here, make sure that you file save as and save it as a separate video. And then that way, when you're ready to make a new video, you can just pull up your template video and you're good to go. Now, one of the most important things in editing editing any video is the sound, and it is one of the hardest things for me to figure out initially. Sound now takes me about 5 minutes and is one of the last things in my workflow in Adobe Premiere Pro. I will share with you my Premiere Pro preset with all of you that I use for my voiceovers, and that's something that I'm going to go ahead and put in the description below through Google Drive. If you guys want to check it out, that's up to you, but please keep in mind that everyone's voices are different. My current strategy is to apply the preset and then get the decibel level to -12 for the peaks. Keep in mind, I also have some additional effects going through my microphone that I'm not going to talk about in this video, but it's just something that I've made it sound crisp on its own. So I don't really need this as much, but what it does for me still, it takes some of the lower frequencies like -18 and brings them up a little bit to the -12 mark. So that helps me maintain a consistent voice throughout my production. Actually, I have this laid out right here just to kind of show you, as I have my intro scene, which was from this video, and that is going to be my voice. And then the second track, audio track here, is a sound effect, just a random swoosh. I have some music that I chose, and then gameplay. This is the level of importance you should be looking at for what you hear. So the whole purpose is to primarily hear your voice. Sound effects should be subtle but louder than your music or gameplay because they need to stand out a little bit. And then your music should always be the background. And then gameplay, which gameplay is slightly under the music. So for this section, it ended up getting a lot longer than I anticipated, so I wanted to trim it down. So the basic rule of thumb here is to start with the voice and normalize all peaks to -12 decibels through some of the steps shown on the screen. And then from there, you want to test your audio, see if it sounds right. And if the peaks start going above it, you want to right click, adjust gain, and then adjust the gain by, and then start playing with it in smaller increments like -3 or -6, and then retest it. And once you get it to about -12 on average as the highest point, you're good. Then you go into the sound effects, which I typically aim to be around -20 or -26 decibels. And then for the music at -30, and then the gameplay at about -33 or -36. So those are some of the areas I start with, and I make minor adjustments from those points depending on how it sounds and to make sure that there's enough separation there. Now, tip number 2 is about thumbnails. My thumbnails are not perfect, but I've definitely learned a lot from my mistakes. I'll provide a resource below as a rough guide for anyone new to them as well that I found very helpful when I started doing this. Some tips are to use bright backgrounds. If you do use a photo of yourself in the thumbnail, make sure that they are easily distinguishable on a small screen and display an accurate emotional response to the content that you're actually delivering. If it's not sad, don't put a sad face. If people aren't going to freak out, don't show you freaking out. And then outline the focal point to give it depth and separate it. You gotta outline the hand right here, okay? Now, if you are going to add text, keep it to 3 to 4 words. I would also just say keep a consistent style because that's important, but do not be afraid to try something new if something didn't work. Now, one really good example of this that I've used is this one right here. This is actually my highest rated video. Now, I'm going to make another video on thumbnail creation and list it in the description on here once it's done because I still think there's a lot that can be covered with this. Tip number 3 is YouTube description templates. Now, I basically have like 6 sticky notes on my computer at all times. So basically, to sum up, this entire video just adds sticky notes to your computer and you're going to be a freaking editing god. I have a YouTube description template that I created that's got, little emoticons that I got on a website, which I'll also link in the description as well for you. This includes all the different ways to connect with me, game information I want to include depending on the game I'm playing, the music section to make sure I'm giving the credit to the artists, cinematic adventures as other videos I recommend, and then the link section. This is just my fun way of being able to do it, but I've also uploaded this to my YouTube video template, and this loads with every video that I come up with. But this makes it super easy for me with every new upload. I also use it in my live description as well. I actually use restream.io and I included this exact same thing in there. And since we brought it up, tip number 4 is a little trick that I've learned, which is going live on YouTube counts as an upload. This will help you uphold your upload commitments to your community and assist with the algorithms of consistency, which can help long-term for the growth of your channel. When the live stream ends, you can go back and edit the video. And the best part is you're limited to start and stop only. So it removes a lot of the long process involved with typical editing. It encourages you to prepare for your live streams, which can be a really good habit. I recommend to start with your talking points because when people come to your video, it's the first thing that they hear. Tip number 5 is scheduling your time requires you to create a plan with your family, setting an expectation with your audience when you will be able to deliver on your commitment, and it reflects reliability of you as a content creator. What it also does is it saves you time, because if you have to commit on delivering content, most people will undercommit and over deliver. The weeks where you over deliver, like there was a time I created 2 videos in one night, and what I should have done is I should have scheduled the post for the following week. And what this would have done for me is I wouldn't have had to edit the following week. I could have taken a break, which I didn't think I needed, but I felt extremely burned out after doing those 2 edits because it took me the majority of an entire day. In certain cases like this, where you least expect it, like give to your future self if you do end up over delivering on something. And the time savings there would have been that I had to do an entire new video for the following week to maintain my commitment had I just posted it at a later point. Make your downtime count, watch your old videos, listen to your audio, watch those videos and see which elements you liked and which ones you disliked. Take notes if you have to. Watch tutorials on how to fix those areas of opportunity. Do keyword research through search engine optimization, also known as SEO, which there's a ton of programs out there that help you do that for free and some paid versions. Fill out your video descriptions, update your playlists with your best videos to make sure that they're front facing on your page. Look at your channel on your phone. This is how most people are going to interact with your channel. There's nothing wrong with changing up keywords and making small updates to thumbnails to simplify them. I heavily recommend checking out keyword research analytics software. There are some free versions, like I said. I use TubeBuddy, and I recommend a program like it. It gives you a better understanding of keyword searches, ranking, competitive factors that go into your channel versus other channels. But the nice thing is it helps me answer the questions as I research my videos. Just having more information that you can use to take back to the drawing board to make your videos better, to be able for people to find it easier. Now, we've covered a lot of structure and tips to content creation to help you free up your time a bit so that you can have time back to balance out enjoying the games you are wanting to play. When you're playing just to play, I recommend recording this as raw footage for your B-roll, and you have general topics you will be covering in the future. You can't recreate certain moments, but take time to enjoy the games as well. Just remember to balance what you need to, and if you ever need any help at all, or just someone to reach out to, I would love for any and all of you to join my Discord, or even to ask any questions below in the comments. I love interacting with all of you and answering any questions you have. What is the biggest struggle all of you have had with content creation and gaming, or whatever channel focus, hobby, or / passion you have? I would love to know. Alright fam, so to summarize everything we've talked about in today's video, we've got video editing templates, thumbnails, which I should have mentioned before, but that is create templates for your thumbnails to make them a lot easier and faster. We also covered YouTube description templates. We covered scheduling, planning your live streams, maximizing your downtime, and spending your freed up time doing things that will recharge your battery so you can come back, continue making content each week. Now, I hope this video helps make you more effective with your time in 2021. If you have an insider tip from your experience that you believe others should know about, please share it in the comments below. I would love to hear it because it may help me, and I'm sure that there's other people who would also love to hear it and appreciate it as well. If you found this video helpful, please consider subscribing to the channel, where you will be able to get more videos on content creation, gaming, digital art, and emote art for Twitch, as well as channel art for my channel. So I just want to thank you so much for checking out today's video. I really do appreciate it, and all the ways that you've shown your support to my channel, and I will see all of you in the next one.